All right. I want to welcome everybody to the Wednesday afternoon team call. I'm super excited about this call. Super excited about the guest speaker that we have on with us today, Nicole, and just the opportunity that we have to share with you guys. I know with our schedule, many people are at work and listen to this afterwards, but I'm grateful for those of you that are hopping on live with us right now. First news, I want to just go over real quickly the focus of July and August so that we're all on the same page working together as a team. If you want to know in bigger details of what we're doing with these focus items, make sure you watch the recording from last week's team call where we talked about what we're doing together as a team. It's on my YouTube channel. But the main focuses are, number one, get registered for Summit. Register yourself for Summit. Make that commitment to be here a year from now at Coach Summit. I'm sure Nicole will share some experience about how Summit has been amazing, or a Super Saturday event, how it's changed her life and business. But Summit next year will be in July in Indianapolis, my absolute favorite event of the year. So you just go to coachsummit.com. So just go to www.coachsummit.com and you can see there how to purchase your ticket. And then what I want you guys to understand and know is that there was this slide at the workshops at Summit when we were just barely there, like 3 weeks ago, that shared a stat. I think it was 17 times. Coaches that attended Summit the year prior earned 17 times more income than those that did not attend Summit. So if your goal this year is to grow your business more, grow your income, then it's like you got to get to Summit. I always think of it like Mario Kart. Remember that game? Summit and Super Saturdays are like on Mario Kart when you get on that little fast lane that shoots you ahead. You know which one I'm talking about, with the little arrows? You hop on it and you go flying past everybody. That's what Summit will do for your business. So let's make sure you get there. The other focus item for this month and the month of August is the Beat Your Best promotion that's going on. You should have gotten an email that tells you what your best Success Club points were for the past year, and then you can earn a bronze, silver, or gold medal. I'm going to challenge every single one of you guys to earn a gold medal. I'm going for it. My best is Success Club 32, so I need to hit Success Club 42. I've never done it before, but I'm going for the gold to show you guys what's possible. And also, I want you guys to go for that challenge as well. It's incredible what happens when you set a goal that you don't feel is very possible, but you do it and go out after with massive action. It's only the 11th, and I'm at Success Club 24. Like the last few months, if you guys listened to the call last week, I struggled in May and June to barely hit Success Club 10. So something is different, and one of the main things is just actually raising my own standard and bar and wanting to go after this prize, I guess is the word. And what I know it will do for my business if I can raise my standards and help you guys do the same. So that's the next item of focus, is to make sure you're working on the Beat Your Best promotion. Also remember the new Success Club reward program as far as you're earning prizes. When you hit 3 months, you get a cap. When you hit, they have it in tiers. You can see it on the team call. There's a hat, and then there's a awesome tank, and then there's a bag that you can earn. So let's work on hitting Success Club consistently so that you can earn those prizes. And as you guys are beginning to understand as well, when you are hitting Success Club consistently, it means that you're doing the vital behaviors consistently, and that's just a reward. That's just the aftermath of the activity that we're supposed to be doing. So it's not about the points and earning the points and the prizes. That's just like proof that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing as a coach. So that's what our main focus is. Remember Summit and work on the Beat Your Best promotion. Also be on the lookout. I am going to be working on putting together an Elevate to Diamond or Rise to Diamond challenge, because we are going to be a Superstar Diamond team this year. Before December 31st, 2018. So we're going to put together a mastermind group of you guys that are ready to go to Diamond this year. So we're super excited about that, and that we have the opportunity to do that together as a team. The next thing is the most important item of business is we have Nicole here with us. After Nicole's done at the end, I'll share with you when our next Emerald in 24-hour training is. It's going to be led by Beth Isbell. She's a 1-star diamond. She's does those every week. So it's next Monday, but I'll get you guys the details at the end of this call. So make sure you mark your calendar for that. I also want to give a quick shout out Man, I could shout out every coach on here, but I'm going to shout out right now Kadena for one specific activity that is helping her grow her business. She was frightened to death. She's been a coach for just over a year. And she, she hasn't hit Success Club yet. She's not an Emerald coach yet, but she made the decision to come to Summit. And she almost backed out of coming to Summit because she was afraid. She didn't know anybody on the team really, but she faced that fear. She reached out to me like a week before and said, hey, I'm coming to Summit. We connected her with amazing people on the team. They picked her up at the airport. She slept in a hotel with them. She made great friends. She took action coming out of Summit and started reaching out to people. And she reached out to me and had me do a 3-way call with her sister-in-law or her brother's girlfriend. And that her sister-in-law is now a coach on Kadena's team. So that's an activity, like getting to these events, taking immediate action afterwards, asking for help or guidance when you need that. And we're excited, Kadena, for you taking those actions and building your business. And we're excited to see you on stage next year for having achieved the goals that you set out to achieve. So with that being said, I'm going to announce Nicole. I reached out to her. I'm like, Nicole, what are your accolades? I want people to understand a little bit about you and what you've accomplished and how you got there. But she's lost 75 pounds and, she attributes that to just doing the workouts, keeping it simple, drinking her shake and, doing Chalene Extreme. And she's been a coach for 5 years. I want you guys to understand this. She's a Success Club legend, which means she's hit Success Club consistently for more than 24 months. She's a 5-star diamond, and she is working this year on building an elite team for the first time. So this is going to be her first year having an elite team. But more importantly, she is married to her husband, who's a part-time youth pastor and a full-time HR director. And she has 2, as she would call them, crazy sons that are 5 and 3. So she's definitely busy, but she's making things happen in her business. So we're excited to hear a little bit of her story from her and some tips that are helping her build this 5-star diamond team. So Nicole, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. So what's funny is I messaged Scotty last week. My husband just started a new HR job across town, and we are actually currently in Hot Springs, Arkansas for his training. So my crazy children are watching TV in the other room of our hotel room. So just as the preface, we work wherever we can. I like to have focus time. I'm a teacher, former teacher, and I was like, Scotty, I really just need like a week. That's all right. We just make it work. So welcome. I hope by the end of today, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour, however long this lasts, that you realize you are already a great coach, that you already have what you need to be successful. Sometimes I think we get bogged down by all of the things and all of the shiny things and all of the Success Club, be 5-star diamond, send out 100 invites, all of those things. And I'm going to talk to you about riding a bike. And if you know how to ride a bike, you know how to be a successful coach. So my prayer is by the end of this 30 minutes that you're like, I got this. I don't need anything else. I got this. So I'm going to start a little with my story. I know Scotty touched a little bit, but I was 240 pounds about 5 years ago. I have 2 degrees. I have my master's in music. Any Texas girls on here? Anybody from Texas or no Texas bands? I was a band director there for a decade, which means on an average week, 80 to 100 hours. So the weight came because I was eating crap all the time and working all the time. And then we got pregnant. So mamas, you know how that goes. We're going to lose weight after pregnancy. So I attempted to run a half marathon at 240 pounds, not fixing my nutrition, didn't know anything about fitness, obviously. And my coach reached out to me in May of 2013. So 5 years ago, I lost 10 pounds that first week with my coach, and I was all in. Like the first time I had, really felt like there would be some success in what I was doing. So I would just say to those people that are like wanting to really attract working coaches, the heart for me was my coach started my journey. She showed me that I could drink a shake and do a workout and not complicate things. And I've been able to keep that weight for the most part. I'm still at like 10, 15 pounds after second baby off. I told her no for coaching. So I started in May. I told her no for coaching, 6 months, 7 months. First of all, I'm fat. Second of all, I have a master's in music. And third, I don't have time. I'm not going to do 4 hours of whatever it is you expect me to do. I'm not going to work out an hour a day. I'm not going to meal plan. I'm not helping other people. I need to help myself. And finally, I think she just got under my skin enough. And at that point, I had lost like 65 or 70. And she sent me a picture of my before and my after. I didn't know how to put pretty pictures. I had no idea. And she said, this is why you coach, because somebody else has had their first baby and is stuck at 200 pounds and can't get into Wonderland. All you have to do is reach out to one person. So I did. And then I made like $60. And then a month later, I made like $250. And I turned to my husband and I said, I think I'm going to quit my job. I think you should quit yours. I think we should move states and we're going to figure this out. So we took a huge leap of faith. We moved from Texas to Oklahoma, which is where all of our family is. And I told my coach I would believe her if I could make $1,000 a month doing this and pay for my mortgage payment. We were living with my family. Cohen was like barely a year old. I'd finished, for the most part, my weight journey. I just finished T25. And it took me 4 months. I went Diamond. It was a slow, quote unquote, progression. It was like month after month. I hit Success Club every month. I did exactly what she told me to do. And I earned my 1,000. And we bought a house the next month. And this is what we tell our team almost every summit. The difference between my success and my new coach's success is that I don't have a plan B. I bought the dang house. Like I can't like sell the house because I don't feel like hitting Success Club. I can't sell the house because I don't feel like pushing play or showing up for my power hour. Like I bought the house with my coaching income. So I would just say to you, go all in on where you can, set a goal and meet it, and then set another little goal. If you're sitting here, like I love Kadini when he was talking about you going Emerald. Emerald's the first step. Hit Emerald. Don't worry about hitting 5-star until you hit Emerald. I couldn't lose 75 pounds if I hadn't lost the first 10. I want to be elite only because we've hit 5-star. Like elite was never on I just wanted to pay for my house. I just didn't want to live with my parents. I have 2 degrees. My husband has a degree. Like what? I just wanted a little bit more freedom. So 5 years later, I have an incredible team. Our team name is Team Genuine, and I'll talk about that by the end of this call. We are real. I share that I'm in a hotel room with my children, that I don't necessarily love staying at home, and sometimes I work part-time jobs just to get out of the house. That I do truly believe coaching, you can make $100 a month and you can make $1 million a month, and it's based solely on you being real and you building your own business and you building your own tribe. And so I have attracted those people. I hit Success Club 5 or 10 every month. That's a non-negotiable for me. Tutors don't have time to take care of 100 new people the way I want to take care of them every month. And my team does the same. They follow what you do. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So we're going to start. This is a book called Clip In. It has nothing to do with coaching. In fact, it has nothing to do with multi-level marketing, but my husband's a youth pastor, and it's about hospitality in the church. So, you know, sometimes we read things, and this one just touched my heart a couple of years ago. It's by Jim Ozer, who lives in Dallas. He signed my book. Like I need to like frame it. But as I was reading it, every time I would turn the page, I was like, God, this is so coaching. This. So I'm hoping that you take some notes along the way. Again, I was a teacher in a former life, so I told Scotty I talk in bullet points, and I will try to lead you along the way. If you have questions as we go through, post in chat or unmute yourself. I'm a normal person, you guys. I'm not like some fancy coach over here. I'm just going to share my heart and an analogy that works for me. So show of hands, how many of you know how to ride a bike? Show of hands. Anybody know how to ride a bike? Okay, everybody, except for the 2 people I can't see. So congratulations. At some point in your life, whether you were 4 or 24 or 44, you learned a skill and how to overcome fear at the same time. Think about, if you can remember, the first time you got on a bike. For me, my dad was behind me, like holding onto the seat because I was terrified, you know, because like death comes at the end when your father lets go of your bike and he pushes you and you go. I was terrified, and yet I learned a new skill at the same time. How true is that to our baby coaches and sometimes ourselves when we push new goals? You're overcoming the fear of hitting diamond, of earning your first 1,000, of losing the last 10 pounds at the same time that you're learning a skill. So here's some skills for coaching. Like, what do you do for coaching? We do our vital behaviors, show up on social media. We have relationships with our coaches. We have relationships with our customers. Y'all, we have relationships with our family. Sometimes they're not super supportive. Mine was not at the beginning. Some of you need to start on your personal fitness. Like, that is the skill that you're learning. You're learning how to, used to be, we had to put a DVD in. I know that sounds really lazy of me, but I was like, oh my God, I have to open up this thing and I have to put a DVD in. I don't, you know. Okay, and the fear may be the same thing. So like when your dad's like letting go, or whoever was showing you how to ride a bike, what are some of the fears? Some of the things I get from my new coaches are, I don't want to put myself out there on social media. I don't want people seeing my kids. How about no one in here, I'm sure, has a fear of inviting, but my team is terrified to invite. Like, it's just so scary for them to ask them to be on a team call or show up for a challenge group or even a free group. I don't know why that's so scary, but it is. They're scared of the success. Any of you reached a goal and then you don't hit the next one because you're fearful of what happens? Like, I'm not going to go for Star Diamond because I don't want the responsibility, or I'm not going to lose my last 10 pounds because I don't believe I can keep it off. You have already achieved those things. If you've learned how to ride a bike, you already have overcome a fear and you've already learned a skill at the same time. So if you ignore me for the next 30 minutes, I just want you to shut your computer and know that you've already overcome the fear of inviting. You have already learned the skill of showing up for a team call. You can do all the things. You can do all the things. Say, I should just close my computer and leave. Like, that's all you need to hear. Okay, so what makes a bike go? Think about what makes a bike go. Like, my kids don't use pedals on their bikes. We use this thing called a balance bike. I am not an engineering mathematical major, but there are things like centrifugal forces, gravity, I don't know, how about the pedals have to be attached, the handlebar needs to be the right height. Like, there are just things on your bike that you need to go. Well, when you first learned how to ride a bike, did you think about any of those things? Did you know that the pedals had to go forward or backward? Anybody had those bikes that, like, you pedal backwards and it breaks? Like, you didn't worry about any of those things. You were just like, okay, I'm on a bike. You didn't worry about any of the things in the back office. You didn't worry about Summit. You didn't worry about your coach call on Monday night. You didn't worry about any of those things. You were just scared to sign up to coach. Maybe I'm just talking to, like, maybe that was just my fear. But I feel like that's where we all start. And sometimes we forget, especially those of you that are mentoring new coaches, like, you forget that fear. You forget that, like, there's all of these things involved in coaching, but really it's about balance and momentum. It's about balance and momentum. And they asked for me to share, and I will a little bit later, like, how we got to 5-star. In the course of the last 4 years of me actively coaching, sometimes I'm uber balanced. I'm a great mom. I'm a great wife. I'm doing my power hour, and my momentum sucks because I haven't really focused on one thing. Sometimes we have amazing momentum. Like, I'll be honest, I was in the To Be Mindset test group in February. It has changed mine and my husband's life. My husband used to be 350 pounds. He's down almost 47. I've been coaching for 5 years. Like, y'all, when family are not supportive, my husband is struggling there. That momentum has been amazing. You want to know what's out of balance? My family life, the amount of hours I'm spending working, the amount of time that I'm spending with my kids. Like, riding a bike takes balance and momentum, and your coaching business is going to take balance and momentum. So just know, and going into this, if you're pushing for 1-star, 5-star, elite, sometimes your balance is going to be off. You got to fix that. Like, you're just riding your bike, right? You got to get through that. We overcomplicate some of that stuff, but really it's simple, right? Balance and momentum. This business is not hard. It's super simple. It's super simple. Show up every day, do your vital behaviors, plug in and love in people. Stop making this about the inertia and the pedals have to lock and all of the other things that we think about on riding a bike that you didn't worry about when you first went. Stop thinking about all of those things. Sorry, I'm trying to read comments while you guys are going. Okay, so here's a quote if you're taking notes. This is one that I love. His name is Francis Willard, and he said, on riding a bike, I finally concluded all failure was from wobbling will rather than a wobbling wheel. I say that again. I finally concluded that failure was from a wobbling will not from a wobbling wheel. Stop blaming the coaching business. Stop blaming your personal journey. Stop blaming your upline or lack thereof. Stop blaming your overweight husband. Fill in the blank, fill in the blank, fill in the blank. That's the wobbling wheel. It's really your will. And for me, everything rises and falls on belief. And if you believe, again, by the end of this call, if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. I just love this. Okay. So going back to when you learned how to ride a bike, you weren't scared about the science. You were scared of unsure how you were going to do it. And how any of you think about, like, when you're riding your bike, how bad is the first fall going to hurt? Or maybe it's not riding a bike. Maybe it's like rollerblading, or when I was running my half marathon, I fell a couple of times that were really bad. Like, how bad is the end of this going to hurt? Or how embarrassed am I going to be? Our new coaches are worried to put a post about themselves up because they're not fit enough. Or, I mean, maybe in your heart, you're like, I'm afraid that people are going to judge me. This is just the nature of what we do. But you got through it. And most of you, when you learned to ride a bike, someone helped you along the way. For me, that was my coach. I still talk to my coach all the time. Kristen is like a cornerstone of my heart, and I still struggle with my weight, and I still struggle with inviting, and I still struggle with leading, and am I doing the right thing, and do I have the right vision for my team? But at some point, Kristen let go. At some point, somebody let go of your bike, and you ran by yourself. So some of you are sitting here, or maybe you're not. Maybe your coach is sitting here and they are just holding on to you. They've got training wheels and they are not going to let go. It's your job as the leader to say, you got this. You got this. I'm going to let go of your seat. And when you fall, I'll be there to pick you up. Anybody lost rank? Anybody need their coach to help them get through losing rank? Like, anybody I lost my 75 pounds and then I had this cutie and I gained like 50 of it back. Like, I needed my coach there when I fell. Did it hurt? Yes. Does losing rank suck? Yes. Scotty will, maybe somebody else on here, like, when you lose 5-star, 10-star bonus, sucks. But my coach was there at the end.
I'll watch Paw Patrol.
Okay, go watch it. You have to turn the channel. He's watching Paw Patrol. Anyway, so I just want you to know, like, it's okay to let go, but you have to reassure your people that you're there at the end. So challengers too. Anybody have challengers that really like struggle, like holding on? You got to let them go. And at the end, you got to tell them when you fall, because you will. Everybody falls riding a bike, especially the first week or 2 or 10, like, I'll be there to pick you up. All right. When you finally get going, okay, you've had your first fall, or like going around the cul-de-sac, or you're going down your mountain or whatever, what does that feel like for you? And let's do that in like a coaching business. Like, what was the first point that you were like, this is cool, I could totally do this? Like, what, anybody want to post like in there? Exhilarating. Yeah. Like, what was it? Going emerald for you? Was it first somebody believed enough to invest in you? Opening your first challenge group? For me, opening a team page was like, I cannot believe that I have enough people that I need a team page. Like, that for me was the right around the street. I still struggled with belief even after I made my first couple $1,000. Like, I don't know what that is. Okay. So I just want you to think about, like, working through fears, getting to your exhilaration place, and knowing that you can do the things. You're riding your bike. It's been a year or 2 or 10. What happens after you've ridden your bike for a while? Like, what else is there on your bike that you have to learn how to do that you didn't have to know at the beginning? Okay, your training wheels are off. You're like able to get on the bike at the 7-Eleven with your buddies and go grab, I don't know, peanuts. And I'm probably going to have to go adjust that for that child in just a second. I think he's watching the news. Can you hear that?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Let me go change the channel. I'll be right back.
You're okay.
Okay.
I'm loving this call so far. Like, I'm thinking like, okay, what do you have to learn next? I don't know what she's going to talk about, but I'm like, you got to learn how to shift the gears. Got to learn how to put the chain back on when it comes off. Yeah. And if you guys ever, like, remember riding your bike and your shoelace got caught in the chain? Did that happen to any of you guys? And you just totally eat it? But we get back on a bike, don't we? I see Veronica's like, I've done that before. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We were talking about when your shoelace gets caught in the chain when you're little and you eat it.
Yeah, bad. When you send out the invite that's really icky and you're like, oh, I should have done that.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, so you learn how to change your tire. This is exactly where I'm going. See, we're on the same wavelength here. You have to learn how to adjust your seat and your handlebars, like if you grow. And some of you may have done triathlons and stuff, like as you adjust and as you get stronger, you're having to adjust your handlebars. Here's the thing, your bike has to fit you. So we're not 4 years old anymore. We're riding like a nice titanium bike. If I got on my husband's bike, who's 6'2" and 300 pounds-ish, I am 150, 5'6", his bike wouldn't fit me. And here's another thing for us as coaches, and it doesn't matter if we're a new coach or not. Some of us follow some incredible coaches in the network, or even not even the network, like people that we love on social media or Instagram. And we try to make that bike fit us. We try to get on the bike of someone who is 6'2" and whose legs are longer than my entire torso. I might be able to ride his bike maybe down the street, but first of all, the crash will be hard and hurt worse, right? And secondly, I'm not my most efficient self. So I told you my team name was Team Genuine, and I tell them all the time, I don't care if you are whatever rank or whatever volume or whatever income. My heart is that I want you to be genuine and fit to yourself so that you can find people who are attracted to that. Please don't try to ride somebody else's bike. And if you've never ridden somebody else's bike, after this call, go borrow one. And you'll feel really uncomfortable. It feels really wobbly. When you get in the groove and you're in a fitting bike and you've lowered your handlebars to where they need to be, and you post that stuff on social media, you're good. You're like, oh my gosh, I got 12 likes on that post. Because you were you. Because you stopped trying to be me. Stop trying to be your outline. Stop trying to be, have incredible coaches in the network. Don't get me wrong. I follow lots of them, but you got to know when to set the barrier of comparison and when to get off that bike and find your own. Okay, here's one probably more for the leadership, if you're hearing me now live or later on. But I don't know how to put my chain back on my bike. I still don't. When I go bike riding, I have to get somebody else to help me. And here's a crucial point for us as we discern what we need in our leadership. Sometimes you need help. Sometimes you need your coaches to run freaking new coach training. Sometimes you need to hire an assistant before you really need one because you don't know how to do all the things. Sometimes you guys need to outsource, like we talk about strengths finders in our team. Like I need to find people who are not leaders, who are not teachers. I need to find people that can fit and do the things that I can't do. I am not uber fun. Like I'm kind of square unless I have a little bit of vodka in me. Like I need to find people who are fun and have a personality so that they can bring that life into our team page. Somebody else needs to learn how to put the chain on your bike. Or if you don't know how to change the tire on your bike, you need to learn how to outsource those things. So this is the other book. He asked how we got to 5-star. I hosted a team retreat 6 months ago. Sorry, I'm in front of a window. Can you see it? It's called Strengths-Based Selling by Gallup. There are 16,000 books on strengths. This one is super important because I had so when you buy the book, there's a test that goes with it. I had all my coaches buy this book. In the back, it tells you all of the incredible things that are important to you as a seller. So I hate when people say, I'm too much of an introvert and I love on too many people. Like I offer too many free groups, so I'll never make money at this. Or the opposite, right? Like I'm goal oriented. I hurt people's feelings. And I'm like, if you would see your strength in here, this was what changed my team. We went from maybe 1 3-star for a year and a half. I led this book in February and we have 7 diamonds. I have 10 total, not PS, in February, March, April, May, June, 5 months. So when you ask me like how we went 5-star or how we grew kind of exponentially, it's because I learned that I cannot do all the things. I cannot change my market. I can change my tire, but somebody else can. So strengths-based selling by Gallup, it's like $16 on Amazon, which includes that test. And I think if all of you were to ask my team what their belief system changed was like, I believe based on your strengths, you can be successful. It doesn't have to be my strengths. And I started to outsource in that way. I also hired an assistant officially. I just had to let go of some of the control issues. Okay. So now we're clipping in. Anybody know what clipping in on your biking is? Just cut me off, Scotty, if I go too long. Okay. Professional bikers, I don't know, professional, amateur that want to be professional, have these things on the bike called clips. And they're these special shoes, and they have this thing on the bottom, and they put it on their pedal, and they have to like click it. And the reason they clip in is because instead of just getting momentum from pushing down, okay, so just getting momentum from throttle behaviors or from doing your success club every month, now they're getting some traction when they pull up. So their quads are doing some of the work. It makes them go faster. It has more momentum. I don't know. I don't own clips. I ride a regular bike. Clips are not my forte. But if any of you have done triathlons, like the clips are things. Clipping shoes are expensive. Clipping bikes are expensive. When you want to get to a bigger place in your coaching business or your fitness business or your marriage or your parenting, you're going to have to invest. It might be $5 on a call. It might be $100 prizes for your team. It might be date nights. It might be a parenting conference. But you have to invest in you and your business in order to go to the next step. I have a quote on my wall this year, and it says, what got you to this place will not get you to where you want to go. What got me to 5-star is not going to get me to elite. What got you to emerald is not going to get you to diamond. What got me to my first 1,000 a month did not get me to my first $1,000 a week. Does that make sense? So you have to clip in. Clip in is like professional. It requires monetary investment. It is like long-term. I don't know anybody that, somebody's raising their hand. Do you want to type in the chat or do you want to ask a question? I don't know anybody that like buys clips and then gives up their biking. Like, I don't know. Okay, and then here's another quote. Coaching is like a 10-speed bike. Most of us have gears that we've never used. So some of you you spend $300 on, I don't know, some training online, or you go to Summit and you spend thousands of dollars on a hotel and cute clothes. I don't know, you buy a new workout program, you buy a Prince line and it sits on the shelf. Your Summit book stays closed. You've bought your clips, you bought your new bike, and it stays in the garage. Don't do that. If you're going to invest in yourself, use it. This is my Summit notebook. About once a week, twice a week, when I need it, like thumb through it. Okay, what nuggets can I get to my team? We used to do these things called Danny Johnson calls, and I have a binder for those. And I would go through this. Like, if you're going to invest in yourself, please make sure you keep using it. Don't be one of those 10-speed bikes that you just stay in gear 3. Use all of the gears. All right. When you're clipped in, you're powerful, you're efficient, you go faster and farther with less effort. Did you hear me? You go faster and farther with less effort. Anybody want to stop working so hard on your invites and just enjoy the flow? Get a bike that fits, be real on social media, and clip in. Invest in your business. Buy something off the performance line and try it. I don't care if you hate it or not. Share that you hate it. Do a 3-day refresh. Try Lift 4. If you've hurt yourself, do 2B Mindset and PIO. I don't know. Clip in. Do something. Stop holding yourself back because you haven't gone full throttle in your business. I personally enjoy less effort with increased momentum. I personally enjoy sitting here in a hotel room, having earned whatever tomorrow's payday, and going out to the pool in an hour because I was willing to clip in 4 years ago and continually do it. I just say you need to keep adding to yourself and investing new shoes and figuring out how to ride your bike faster to get there. Is there a risk? Is there ever anything that's worthwhile doing that's not risky? Was learning your bike risky? Was signing up to coach risky? Of course. Is losing 50 pounds risky? Is running a half marathon risky? Is being a parent risky? Oh my gosh. Is getting married risky? But think about the reward boards of all of the things you did in your life. You clipped in at some point. You've already done it. So I started this call with like, I just want you today to know you've already succeeded in coaching because you already have everything you need to know. You don't have to have an emerald training, diamond in 14 days, 20-minute training to go send out your first invite and get your first challenger to lose 10 pounds. You can do that before. You could go emerald in an hour. You can earn your first $1,000 this month. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. The bigger the risk, the more the reward. The bigger you risk you take with your bike, the bigger the bike, the bigger the momentum you have going down the hill. Or if you want to, there's a bike ride in Texas that's 100 miles. It's in like hot summer and they have things along the way between, it's like Houston and Austin. The bigger the risk, I'm telling you, at the finish line of those things, or and we live in Tulsa right now, there's a hill called Crybaby Hill, and they do these bike races. And to see the elation of those bikers, it doesn't matter if it's the first biker across the finish line, right, the top 10 on the stagecoach, or the last one who's like 100 pounds overweight and they finished, they're all crying at the end of Crybaby Hill. And it's not because it hurts. It's because they finished. They finished. They took the risk and they got the reward. So, okay, there you go. Ordered your book. Good. I just want you to leave today knowing you've learned to ride a bike. You, at the same time you were fearful, you also learned a skill. Coaching is the same thing. It's the same thing. And if you're a leader and you have people underneath you, you have to be able to tell them they can do what you do. It can never be about sprockets and momentum and efficiency and balance. And it has to just be learn a skill, do the thing at the same time, and go forward. When you get to the end of the block, I'll be there when you fall, and we'll go somewhere else. So that's what I got for you.
I love that, Nicole. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Like when you said Crybaby Hill, I like had a biking flashback. I just have to tell you guys just because it's funny. I remember when I was it was like a scout, Boy Scouts. We were on a camp out. It's crazy the things you do when you're a kid. We climbed up this mountain with our bikes, and there was like snow, kind of like a glacier, and we rode our bikes down it without thinking that the snow ended with a drop off into sagebrush, and we just all launched and just tumbled through the weeds. And we got back up, and I still rode a bike after that. So sometimes you just learn skills and you get back up. You keep going.
You get back up. That's the thing. But you have people who they don't achieve their first 5 pounds and they quit.
Yeah.
Or they don't achieve emerald rank and they're like, I'm not good enough. You're gonna fall. It's a fallacy in our culture that you think you're going to win all the time. Win. Well, you got to learn how to fall, and you got to find a tribe of people who will be there to pick you up. And if that's not this tribe, you got to build your own. Yeah. I talk to coaches all the time that don't have uplines and feel like they're on an island. I'm like, well, it's your job. It's your job to find that partner who's going to fall in the bushes and get your butt back up. Anyway.
You know, I'm going to share one small story about just this whole concept. It's so great to hear this, because sometimes you just get in the routine of things and don't understand sometimes why you do what you do. And I just absolutely love this concept of learning a new skill while facing like a fear, like something you're deathly afraid of for some of us. And I think about when I started, like I made so many weird mistakes just like as I just started, but I just took action. I signed up as a coach. My coach Lindsay's in Tampa. She's never mentored a male coach before. Right? I was like her first male, let's say, rock star coach. And I'm out here in Idaho, all the way across the country. And I'm like, I'm going to run this fit club. I just want to build a tribe of people here that work out together. I like made these iron-on P90X shirts that like looked like crap. Like, and no one looked at my shirt when I was there, but I just like tried stuff and I just got together. And I remember, I'm going to just tell you guys so you can think about this as you build your tribe. I remember we were at that first fit club, and it was me and my first 2 coaches I signed in the first week. So I went emerald in my first week. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know this was network marketing. I just knew that everybody should be a part of this team that I was creating, this tribe, and do these workouts. Well, we promoted this fit club. We each invited like 20 people. So we absolutely knew that 60 people were going to be there working out with us. And there were absolutely none of those people that came. It was us 3. And I remember we still did our workout and we had an awesome time. And then my new coach, because remember I sponsored these 2 new coaches, said, I haven't told this story since like back in 2011. This new coach, her name is Laura, she says, Scotty, are we doing Super Saturday next weekend? And I'm like, yes, we are. And I went home and I Google searched, what is Super Saturday? And I was like, oh crap, I got to like register and host an event. And I just registered and hosted it. And we did the exact same thing we did with the Super Saturday. They sent me slides and us three sat down and we watched these things. We didn't know what it was supposed to be like, but we watched the video, we learned, and we were together. And that's how it is. Like I was fearful. I didn't know how to do everything that my coach was doing, but I was just just taking on each little step as it came and just saying, okay, we're supposed to do Super Saturday. Let's try this out. Let's just get together and try it out. And then later on, it's become something absolutely incredible, right? But it started, with the first, just getting on that bike and wobbling and falling down. And the falling down in that instant would be like the 60 people or even the one that didn't come to our first workout that we tried to plan in our city. So, but one thing that I think is cool is we sat there and said, one day we're going to fill this football stadium with a group workout. And that's what we told people. Come work out with us. Come do P90X. One day we're going to fill this football field with a group workout. And you know what happened 5 years later? We had Sagi Kalev there and 700 people in a small town working out to a hammer and chisel workout. And it took 5 years, and it took inviting 60 people to that first workout, and nobody came. So remember, have the vision, have that belief, and just
and have the endurance too. This is there's so much in this book, and again, it has nothing to do with coaching. Please don't go buy the book if you think it's about coaching. It's literally about how to make friends in church. Like my mother is a district superintendent at the Methodist Church, and my husband is a pastor. So my teacher mind loved the bike thing, but if you don't have endurance to ride your bike, if you don't have endurance to coach, you're not going to be anywhere. So when Scotty says, you got to be here in 5 years, I tell my team all the time, you got to be here in a year. We're to move a year at a time. You can't tell yourself I'm giving yourself 90 days. 90 days is not enough time. A year really isn't enough time. But some people struggle with the vision of where am I going to be in 5 years? Not even with coaching. Where am I going to be in 5 years with my kids or with my marriage? That's a hard thing to be. Be here in a year. Have some endurance. I think there's another quote about riding bikes. It's it doesn't get easier. There comes a point where your skill is okay. Your 4 vital behaviors don't change. Your social media really, you figure out how to post, guys. You figure out how to push play. The skills don't get any harder. Riding the bike is always the same, but you go faster. You go faster. If you clip in, you go faster. If you invest, you go faster. And that's what happens. Those coaches that see success, yes, there are absolutely coaches that go diamond in a day and 5-star in 10 weeks, and they have incredible explosive momentum. But you got to have balance and momentum so that you can be here in a year, that you can ride your bike in 5, so that you don't burn out to the point where you're I don't want to help anybody. I have no passion for doing this anymore, because then you've grown all these people and you have all this trust, and then
it's gone.
You get off your bike. Yeah, don't get off your bike.
Don't get off your bike. Yeah. I love that. Well, I want you guys to say thank you, Nicole, for being on the team call while on a little vacation. We hope you enjoy the swimming pool with your kids.
I will.
My kids didn't come in either, so that was great. We had a fairly uninterrupted call.
There you go.
I want to remind you guys, we do have a Emerald. Remember, like Nicole said, it's not about the training, but we have Beth teaching you guys how simple it is to become an Emerald in one day. And it's basically going to be the things that Nicole taught today. That'll be on Monday. You can listen to it. We have our next 4 weeks of calls scheduled out. They're all going to be at the same time, Wednesday at 2 o'clock Eastern time. We have 4 new 5-star diamonds, just like Nicole, for the next 4 weeks. And then we have Josh Coates in August with us. I'm super excited about one of the calls coming up, just so you can understand, talking about endurance. She's a new 5-star diamond coach, and guess how long it took her to get to 5-star diamond? 10 years.
I love that.
10 years to get to 5-star diamond. But she's there and building an elite team, and it took 10 years. Maybe it takes someone 1 year, maybe 5 years for somebody else, and maybe someone 10. It may take, we may have someone on this team one day in 10 years from now that's been already on the team for 7 years, and we're 5-star diamond in 17 years. It's going to happen. Right, if you stay consistent and stay on the bike. So, all right, guys.
Stay on the bike.
Stay on the bike. Yep, stay on the bike. Thank you. I appreciate that. Everything that you taught us and shared with us today, Nicole. And we'll see you guys all next time, next Wednesday, and inside the team pages. Peace.